Sri Vishakhanvita. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deenabandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika, Kanta, Radha, Kanta, Namostate. Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshwari, Krishabhanusate, Devi, Pranamami, Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhye, Vacha Patitanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Presthaya, Bhutale, Srimate, Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatharine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Yeah, you saw virtually. Hari Bol, very nice. Yeah. Okay, let's begin. So basically, in Vrindavan, there is a huge international safari that's happening in the month of April. Guru Maharaj is going to visit Vrindavan, and so many people from all over the world, everybody is going to visit Vrindavan. And Guru Maharaj is going to stay for days over there. And when we go there, we will also get lot of service opportunities. We get, close. We can very closely associate with Guru Maharaj, and we can, take a lot of lessons from him as well. So it's called Vrindavan Safari. So that's why I thought we will glorify Vrindavan because Guru Maharaj is also going to Vrindavan, and a place where Krishna resides eternally. Right? Let's begin with the Kirtan. Vrindavana Ramya Stan Divya Chintamani Dhara Ratana Rama Nohara Avrita Kali Kori taha shobe kanaka kamala Vrindavana rasa divya chittaratana ramano hara तारा मध्ये हेमापीता अष्टदायी सीता अष्टदायी प्रधाननायिका तारा मध्ये रत्नासा भोष्याची दुई जाने श्यामा संगी सुंदरी राधिका ओ रूपालावण्यासी आम्ही पुरीची काशी हत्या परिहासा संभाषणी नरोत्तमा दासा खोई नित्याई सुखाई साधाई पुरुखा मोरा माऊली वृंदावन रसा दिव्या चित्तारतनो हारा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण राम राम. Beautiful Vrindavan is filled with Chintamani gems and many jeweled palaces and temples. Many regal swans play in the waters of the Yamuna, and in those waters a splendid golden lotus flower grows. In the middle of that lotus is a golden place surrounded by 8 petals. On these 8 petals, the 8 principal gopis reside, and in the center, Lord Shamasundara and beautiful Srimati Radharani sit on a jeweled throne. The great beauty of the divine couple and their charming joking and laughter appears to be constantly showering nectar everywhere. Narottam Das says, "I pray that these blissful, eternal, transcendental pastimes of the divine couple may be always manifest in my heart." There's a description of the Goloka that is present on the Goloka chart, right? Goloka chart, how does it look? On top, so from bottom, it's the material world. all the hellish planets, Patala Loka, then earthly planets, then the superior planets, Brahma Loka, right? And then we have Vaikuntha planets, right? All over the spiritual sky, the Vaikuntha planets are distributed. And then superior to even Vaikuntha is Goloka, right? Where the Radha Krishna resides. So Goloka, you can see in the Goloka chart. Let me see if I can show it to you. There's a huge lotus, right? And yeah, can you see the screen? So these are all the hellish planets. And then comes the Vaikuntha planets, and then comes Goloka. It's not clear. So it's from here, right? From the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the lotus stem comes, and then on top it is Brahma, right? In the lotus flower. So on the stem, we have the 13 planetary systems, and Brahma Loka is the 14th. So 14 planetary systems, these are all belonging to the material world. This entirely is the material world. Okay, and above this is Kailas, where Shiva resides, right? After that is Vaikuntha, where all the Vaikuntha planets reside. This is the spiritual sky. So until here, it is material. So Kailas is also in the material realm, and only in the spiritual realm, it is Vaikuntha and Goloka. And after
Mataji,
Vaikuntha, yeah.
Can't see the Goloka chart. It says Microsoft Bing chat with GPT-4. That is what is visible in the
Okay,
screen.
wait 1 second. I was sharing the wrong one. Now you can see?
It's coming up, Mataji. Yes, visible, Mataji.
Yeah. So these are the Vaikuntha planets. So till here, including Kailash, till here it is all material world. Above this, it's the spiritual world. And the sky is divided into two parts. Okay. Only 25% of it is the material. Remaining 75% of the sky is all spiritual. So in the spiritual part of the sky, it is two things, that is Vaikuntha planets. There are millions of Vaikuntha planets. Okay, and then even superior to Vaikuntha is the Goloka, where you can see this lotus, right? I can't zoom this. So here is the lotus. Or wait, let me see. Yeah. So this is the lotus, and you can enter this Goloka through 4 entrances. And one of them is the easiest one is Shvetadweep, or Mayapur, that is chanting the holy name of the Lord. So through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's the easiest way to enter Goloka, that is chanting the holy name of the Lord, right? That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, right, to demonstrate the value of chanting the holy name. And Goloka is a lotus. Okay, that's what we just discussed, right, in Vrindavan, Kirtan. So, all the petals are all the servitors of the Lord, and there are 8 primary or principal petals surrounding Radha Krishna. The middle portion is surrounded by 8 principal petals, and these 8 principal petals represent the Ashtasakis, or the 8 very close
Can't hear you,
associates
Mataji.
of Radha Krishna. Can't hear me? Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. We lost you in between, Mataji.
Is it clear now?
Now it's clear. We heard you
Yeah.
till 8 petals.
So these 8 petals are the immediate, these 8 petals surround the middle portion of the lotus flower, and these 8 petals represent the Ashta Sakis, or the principal Sakis, the servitors of Radha Krishna, right? The principal Sakis. We have, no, in Mayapur Dham, if you go, There's Radha Krishna, and there are 8 Sakis, including Lalita and Vishaka. We have 8 Sakis, right? They are principal Sakis. So each of these petals represents the servitors, individual servitor of Radha Krishna. Okay, and the middle portion has Radha Krishna together, and they enjoy the transcendental pastimes all day, right? There is no time there in Goloka and Vaikuntha. There is no time. Nobody become old. Nobody, gets diseased. It just eternally keeps happening. The pastimes keep happening. There is no time limit as such, right? So that is Goloka, and I'll zoom more. This is the limit. Okay, so in the middle, Radha Krishna reside. So this is the arrangement in Goloka. It's very beautiful. That's why it's not of material. It's completely spiritual, right? Where the everything is lotus oriented there. Okay, so let's begin with
Mataji,
today's
sorry,
class. Yeah, tell me, Prabhu.
sorry. One question. You said one entrance is for people who do chanting.
Yeah.
What are the other three? If you can
Hmm.
quickly help us.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm not able to share this. Otherwise, I would have showed you this. One moment. Okay, I'm not able to show. Anyway, so yeah, so one entrance is by chanting the holy name of the Lord, glorifying the Lord with kirtan and all that, right? That comes under Samaveda also. The other 3 entrances are the other 4 Vedas, the other 3 Vedas, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, and Rig Veda, where you need to do lot of activities like dharma and austerities and so many other things, which is not possible by us. For us, it is only chanting is easy. Everything else is very difficult. Right? So those are the other 3 gates. Okay, so for us, it's a very easy shortcut that we have. Just glorify the Lord and go back home, back to Godhead. Right? Yeah. So coming back to the actual class, Dhruv Maharaj prayers. One moment. Let me share the screen. Yeah, so Dhruv Maharaj prayers. Dhruv Maharaj has the Lord right in front of him now. Right? Dhruv Maharaj has the Lord right in front of him, standing in front of him, and he starts offering prayer. So the Lord, touches him, right, his forehead with shank, and then he gets transcendental knowledge, and then he starts talking. Dhruva Uvacha. So now the prayers will start. Okay. यो प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयाति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्ताचरणाश्रवणत्यागादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. Dhruv Maharaj said, "My dear Lord, you are all powerful. After entering within me, you have enlivened all my sleeping senses, my hands, legs, ears, touch sensation, life force, and especially my power of speech. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you." Can anybody read the puppet? It's a very important puppet, long puppet as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah.
Dhruv Maharaja could understand very easily the difference between his condition before and after attaining spiritual realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He could understand that his life force and activities had been sleeping. Unless one comes to the spiritual platform, his bodily limbs, mind, and other facilities within the body are understood to be sleeping. Unless one is spiritually situated, all his activities are taken as a dead man's activities or ghostly activities. Sri Bhakti Vinoda Thakura has composed a song in which he addressed himself. Oh, living entity, get up. How long shall you sleep on the lap of Maya? Now you have the opportunity of possessing a human form of body. Now try to get up and realize yourself. The Vedas are so declared. Get up, get up. You have the opportunity, the boon of the human form of life. Now realize yourself. There are the Dhruv Maharaja actually experienced that upon enlightenment of his senses on the spiritual platform, he could he could understand the essence of Vedic instruction, that the Supreme Godhead is the Supreme Person. He is not impersonal. Dhruv Maharaja could immediately understand this fact. He was aware that for a very long time he was practically sleeping, and he felt the impetus to glorify the Lord according to the Vedic conclusion. A mundane person cannot offer any prayer or glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he has no realization of the Vedic conclusion. Therefore, when Dhruv Maharaja found this difference within himself, he could immediately understand that it was because of the causeless mercy of the Lord. He offered obeisances to the Lord with the great respect and reverence, completely understanding that the Lord's favor was upon him. The spiritual enlivenment of Dhruv Maharaja's senses and mind was due to the action of the internal potency of the Lord in this verse. Therefore, the word Swadharma means by spiritual energy. Spiritual enlightenment is possible by the mercy of the spiritual energy of the Lord. The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is first addressed to the spiritual energy of the Lord. Hare, the spiritual energy acts when a living entity fully surrendered and accept his position as an eternal servitor. When a person places himself at the disposal or order of the Supreme Lord, that is called Sevan Muga. At that time, the spiritual energy gradually reveals the Lord to him. Without revelation by the spiritual energy, one is unable to offer prayers glorifying the Lord. Any amount of philosophical speculations or poetic expression by the mundane person is still considered to be the action and reaction of the material energy. When one is actually enlivened by the spiritual energy, all his senses become purified and he engages only on the services of the Lord. At that time, his hands, legs, ears, tongues, mind, genitals, everything engage in the service of the Lord. Such a enlightened devotee no longer has any material activities, nor has any interest in being materially engaged. This process of purifying the senses and engaging them in the service of the Lord is known as bhakti or devotional service. In the beginning, the senses are engaged by the direction of the spiritual master and sastra. And after realization, when the same senses are purified and the engagement continues. The difference is that in the beginning of the senses are engaged in a mechanical way, but after realization, they are engaged in a spiritual understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Let's cover the next also. It's the same theme and then we will learn about it. एकस्त्वमेव भगवन् इदम् आत्मशक्त्या मायाख्ययोयुरु गुणया महद् आद्य अशेषम् सृष्ट्वानुविश्या पुरुषस्ततः सद्गुणेषु नानेव धारुषु विभवासु विभाषि. My Lord, you are the Supreme One, but by your different energies, you appear differently in the spiritual and material worlds. You create the total energy of the material world by your external potency, and after creation, you enter within the material world as the super soul. You are the supreme person, and through the temporary modes of material nature, you create varieties of manifestation, just as fire entering into the wood of different shapes burns brilliantly in different varieties. Perfect, anybody?
Hare Krishna
Yeah.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Dhruva Maharaj realized that the supreme absolute truth, Mataji, yeah. Dhruva Maharaja realized that the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, acts through his different energies, not that he becomes void or impersonal and thus becomes all pervading. The Mayavadi philosopher thinks that the absolute truth, being spread throughout the cosmic manifestation, has no personal form. But here, Dhruva Maharaja, upon realization of the Vedic conclusion, says, you are spread all over the cosmic manifestation by your energy. This energy is basically spiritual, but because it acts in the material world temporarily, it is called Maya or illusory energy. In other words, for everyone but the devotees, the Lord's energy acts as external energy. Dhruva Maharaja could understand this fact very nicely, and he could understand also that the energy and the energetic are one and the same. The energy cannot be separated from the energetic. The identity of the supreme personality of Godhead in the feature of Paramatma or Super Soul is admitted herein. His original spiritual energy enlivens the material energy, and thus the dead body appears to have life force. Voidist philosophers think that under certain material conditions, the symptoms of life occur in the material body. But the fact is that the material body cannot act on its own. Even a machine needs separate energy, that is electricity, steam, etc. It is stated in this verse that the material energy acts in varieties of material bodies, just as fire burns differently in different woods according to the size and the quality of the wood. In the case of devotees, the same energy is transformed into spiritual energy. This is possible because the energy is originally spiritual and not material. As it is said, Vishnu Sakti Paraprakta. The original energy inspires a devotee, and thus he engages all his bodily limbs in the service of the Lord. The same energy as external potency engages the ordinary non-devotees in material activities for sense enjoyment. We should mark the difference between Maya and Swadharma. For devotees, the Swadharma acts, whereas in case of non-devotees, the Maya energy acts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, so two shlokas, 6th and 7th, right? So, yeah. So here it clearly says, my hands, my legs, my ears, my touch sensation, life force, especially my power of speech, everything got enlivened, right? He initially says they were all sleeping. And then when Krishna, when Dhruva Maharaj saw Krishna right in front of him, all of those, all of his senses, everything, his entire body, right, got enlivened, spiritually got enlivened because he went to the spiritual platform, right? So in material platform, whatever you do is considered voidism, right? So it says, no, there is a shloka, right? Rupa Goswami says, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Tapo Japaha Apranasyev Dehasya Mandanam Loka Ranjanam. Right? Whatever you do, okay, without devotion in it, if you do not have devotion for the Lord, whatever you do is decorating dead body. It's as it's just as good as decorating dead body. Right? Dead bodies, we decorate them with flowers and all, right? And then we take them in procession to the crematorium and all that, right? What is the use? It's dead body. We are taking that dead body to burn or and all that, right? Or bury and all that. So what is the point? So even if you do japa, jati shastras japo tapaha, whether you do austerities, whether you do philosophical study, right, shastric studies, or whether you do japa, chanting the holy name of the Lord, you can do anything which is considered pious, which is considered devotional activity. Okay, if you do not have devotion for the Lord from the bottom of your heart, if you're not doing it with an intention to please the Lord, then it is as good as decorating a dead body, which is of no use. right? Which is of no use. So until Dhruv Maharaj saw the Lord, he was just like you and me, right? With sleeping senses, right? Now we are all living, yeah, but what is the point? There are Bhagavatam in other chapters of Bhagavatam. There are a lot of comparisons given. No, tree is also living. What is the point? Can the tree move? No, right? Tree is not. Tree cannot move, right? But it is still considered living. Same way, Prabhupada says, if we are not devotees, we are just walking dead bodies, right? We are just walking dead bodies, zombies we are, right? And there are so many other examples, like bellows of blacksmith, right? Blacksmith uses the bellow for, you know, uh, giving more air, right? Supplying more air so that the fire burns well, right? That's what a bellow is used for. But bellow doesn't breathe. It is supplying air, yes, but does it breathe? No, it doesn't, right? So we are also breathing, but we are as good as bellows, right? No point in breathing. Such breathing is of no point. It's of no use, right? So what is the difference between our lungs and a bellow if we are also just breathing for the sake of it without having any devotion for the Lord, right? And then ear holes, ear holes of um, I mean, ear holes. Our ears are compared to holes on the snake. Snakes have these holes, no, the pores and all that, no. But can they hear through those ear holes? I mean, holes. No, snakes cannot hear through those pores, right? But if we also have ears, but our ears are as good as those holes, rudimentary holes. If we are not using our ears to to listen to Krishna Katha, if we are not using those ears to listen to Harinam Sankirtan, Bhajan, right? If we are not using those ears for Bhagavatam, it's of no point. Having those ears is just waste, right? Tongue of a frog, right? Tongue of a frog. What does a frog use its tongue for? It croaks, right? It keeps croaking. So through its croaking noise, it actually notifies other animals, snakes, and all that. Yeah, I am here. I am here. Then snakes come and like eat the frog, right? Because of the croaking noise. Same way, if we are not, and also one more comparison. Prabhupada says in the purpose also he says tongue tongue is compared to a prostitute. Can you imagine if the tongue is chanting or glorifying somebody else other than Krishna, chanting the holy, if the tongue is not chanting the holy name of Krishna, talking about these gramya katha, svakatha, politics and so many mundane topics, right? If the tongue is not talking about Krishna at all, if the tongue is not used to motivate other devotees or convert non-devotees to devotees, if the tongue is not involved in devotional service in any way, then the tongue is called prostitute. Can you imagine? Why? Because Krishna is the master of the tongue, but tongue has forgotten the master and going and glorifying other people, right? So same way, that's exactly what a prostitute does, right? So that's why tongue is also considered to a prostitute. So we need to be very conscious in what we are using our body parts for, right? And head, when we have these heavy turbans, color turbans, silk turbans, and all on our head, these turbans are compared to, I mean, the head with turbans it's just like heavy burden on that head. Even if it is made of silk, even if the turbans are made of silk, it's still just considered heavy burden. When the head is bowed down, turban falls. Yes or no? It just falls, right? It's just considered heavy burden. Same way, we are given this human form of life, and if we are not using this higher intelligence to glorify the Lord or to engage ourselves in devotional service, then our higher intelligence is as good as heavy burden, right? For example, say you're a wonderful chemistry student, okay, you know how to make things out of chemicals and all that, right? So if you're a bad person, you can use the same chemicals to manufacture nuclear bombs and all these weapons and all that, right? But if you're a good student, you will definitely use these chemicals to make something good that helps the society. Yes, same way, the higher intelligence is given to us because we are humans, and if we are not using it for devotional service, then it's just heavy burden. Prabhupada says this, right? Hands, right? Our hands, if we are not using our hands to worship the deity or chant, hold the beads and chant, if we are not using our hands to serve the Vaishnavas, then this hand is as good as a hand of a dead body. Can you imagine? right? This hand is as good as the hand of a dead body, right? Heart, if our heart doesn't melt, right, upon hearing Krishna Katha, and if we do not surrender ourselves to the Lord from the bottom of our heart, even after understanding the glories of the Lord, then it's not heart, it seems. In place of heart, it's a steel framed stone sitting in our body. Can you imagine? It's a steel framed stone sitting in our body, right? Eyes. Okay, our eyes are not eyes if we are not using our eyes to see the deity, to see the Vaishnavas, to read, to see the pages of Prabhupada's books and read them, right? Our eyes are not eyes. What are they? They are like plumes, no, peacock plumes, like peacock feathers. If you see, they also have eyes, no? But those eyes cannot see, right? Can you see? Can you use those? I mean, can those eyes see? No, they are just design on the peacock feathers, right? Our eyes are as good as them. It's just rudimentary. It's not used for the purpose, right? For the right purpose. So if we are not using our eyes to see Krishna consciously, then our eyes are as good as peacock feathers. Legs, tree trunks. It's compared to tree trunks. Trees cannot walk, right? The trunks are fixed, rooted in the soil deep, right? They cannot walk. So our legs are as good as a tree trunk if we are not using our legs to devotion service. If we are not using our legs to walk to the temple, do parikrama, Tulsi parikrama, Vrindavan parikrama, temple parikrama, if we are not using our legs to serve the Vaishnavas, right? If we are not using our legs in devotional service, then our legs are as good as tree trunks. They are not used for the purpose. If you do anything other than these things with your legs, then your legs are not used for the right purpose, right? So, um, these comparisons, Prabhupada very nicely writes in the purpose, and it's given in Bhagavatam slokas, right? So, it makes us stop and look back. What are we doing with our lives, right? We get carried away by Maya for moments, and we do ruthless things, and to come back it takes a lot of time. And even after coming back, if we repeat the same mistake, or if we are not serious enough, no, to get up and go back to track, on our devotion service, right? Yeah, everybody gets distracted, but how much are you coming back to track? No, that is what matters. So that's why these harsh words are given to us by Srila Prabhupada, not out of anger, because Prabhupada at least says, but at least by reading these harsh words, these harsh comparisons, it should trick you. Once it tricks us, we will come back to track automatically, right? It has to trick us, right? So here also it says, no, Jeev Jago. Senior Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Jeev Jago, Gora Chand Bole. Right? So you need to get up. You're sleeping. Please wake up. Right? You're actually sleeping on the lap of Maya. So Maya is compared to Pichachi, witch. Maya is a witch, and she has, controlled you completely. That's why you're sleeping on the lap of Maya. Get up. Right? If we are not serving Krishna, we are serving Maya. Right? If we are not serving Krishna, we are serving Maya. So, if you're not serving Krishna, you need to ask yourself, not ask, you need to tell yourself, okay, I'm not serving Krishna, I'm actually serving Maya right now. So that way you need to wake up yourself and come back to track and start serving Krishna. Right? Otherwise, there's no use. Our body is not our body, or our body is not going to be of any use if we are not using our body to serve the Lord. Right? Do you know any devotee who used all the parts of his body to serve the Lord? Every part of his body he used. Who is that? He performed all the 9 processes of devotional service. He mastered. Anybody knows? One
Amrish
person.
Maharaj.
Haribol. Yes, Amrish Maharaj. Right? Amrish Maharaj used all the parts of his body for the service of the Lord. He used to smell the flowers and tulsi with his nose, right? He used to see the deity. He had a beautiful temple right inside his palace. He used to clean. He used to clean personally using his hands, and he had mastered all the 9 processes of devotional service. What are the 9 processes of devotional service? Who knows?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam.
Haribol, yes. Right? He did all of those. We are struggling to do Shravanam Kirtanam. But he did everything, even Atma Nivedanam, giving himself, giving his entire self to the Lord. Right? And he used everything in the service of the Lord. He was a royal, he had a royal lifestyle, right? So he used to offer like varieties and varieties of food. He used to get it done from all the servants and maids and all that, and he used to offer it to the Lord. Every day it was Rajbhog. Every day it was feast there, in that kingdom. So this is how he used to use everything to serve the Lord. Literally everything he used to serve the Lord, right? He's a wonderful example. And then here it is said, right? Yeah. Dhruv Maharaj experienced that upon enlightenment of his senses on the spiritual platform, he could understand the essence of the Vedic instruction. What is the essence of the Vedic instruction? What is the essence? What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita in this regard?
In 15.15 he says, Vedaischa sarvairahameva vedi.
Haribol, yes. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto mritta smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta kridvedavid eva chaham. Right? Vedanta kridvedavid eva chaham. Vedanta kridvedavid eva chaham. I am the end of the Vedas. I am the essence of the Vedas, Krishna says. Knowing, if you can say that you know Vedas, that means you should know me. Only then you can say you know Vedas, Krishna says. Right? Vedes to sarvair ahameva vedyaha. That's what Krishna says, right? So, what is Krishna? Krishna is a person. He is not a Brahmajyoti. He is not a light, or he's just not Paramatma. He is a person. He is Bhagavan. Right? Those are the three modes, three levels of realization of the Lord, right? Three levels. What are the three levels of realization of the Lord? How do we realize the Lord in three levels? Basic.
Brahman, Paramatman and Bhagavan.
Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, right? So when you say that you know the Lord, that means you should know the personal form of the Lord. That is the Bhagavan feature. And through Vedas, the aim is to know the Lord in his full feature, the Bhagavan feature, in this personal feature. And to prove that Krishna is a person, he is not some light, or no, he is not limited to light or anything, any energy. He is a person, right? That is the essence of all the Vedas, right? So Dhruv Maharaj did not go and study Vedas. He was just 5 years old when he went to the forest. He did not even study Vedas, Puranas, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, nothing he studied, right? He didn't study anything. He was a small boy. He was a boy who, I mean, child, no? Children play. They don't sit and study Vedas and all that, right? So he was of that age, right? So where is this knowledge coming from then? Anybody?
Mataji, the conch shell which Krishna.
Haribol, yes, the conch shell, right? So the conch shell, it's out of Krishna's causeless mercy that he got enlightened even without studying the Vedas, right? So this is the lesson for all of us. Lot of us say, no, it's not going into my head. I am sitting and studying from morning Bhagavatam, nothing is entering my head, right? We have these problems, right? We are not able to remember, recall at the right time, right? Some people get shlokas on their tip of their tongue. We are not able to do that, right? Certain things, no, it's Krishna's mercy, right? Through Krishna's mercy, some people are naturally blessed, right? Like how Dhruv Maharaj was naturally blessed. Gopis were naturally blessed. They also did not go to school to study the Vedas, but they knew everything about the Lord. They knew how to glorify the Lord, right? It is all Krishna's causeless mercy, right? That's why a mundane person cannot offer prayer or glorify the Lord because he has no realization of the Vedic conclusion, right? That is the reason we follow great devotees' prayers, right? Great devotees' prayers. That's the reason. That's why we started with Prabhupada's prayers, Jaladuta prayers. Then we studied Kunti's prayers. Now we are studying Dhruv Maharaj's prayers, right? Because we are not qualified. We are not qualified to offer prayers to the Lord, right? We do not have the realization. Because we do not have the realization, we blindly go by what these exalted devotees have done, right? And only through the causeless mercy we get enlightened, right? Krishna says no somewhere. Where does he say? Yeah. Yeah, spiritual enlightenment is possible only by the causeless mercy of the Lord. Mercy of the spiritual energy of the Lord. Right? What are the two types of energies? Actually, there are three, but what are the different types of energy Krishna has?
Antaranga, Bahiranga, and Tatastha.
Tadastha Shakti. English word?
Internal, external, and marginal.
Marginal potency, right? So, what is this external potency? External potency is Mahamaya. Okay, the Maya Shakti or Durga Devi that we all have under, I mean, we are all under control of her, right? We are all under her control. Next comes, in material realm, all these realizations are definitely not possible. Okay, because Maya Shakti, Maya is Avarnatmika, Prakshetatmika, right? She only covers us and pulls us away and away and away from Krishna. But spiritual enlightenment is possible by Krishna's spiritual energy. And who is in charge of spiritual energy? Or the internal potency of the Lord, Antaranga Shakti? Anybody knows?
Radharani.
Radharani, Haribol. Yes, Radharani is the one who is in charge of Krishna's internal potency. Okay, that's the reason when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you don't say Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama. You say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Without Radharani, we are not getting Krishna. Otherwise, that's why mantra is made that way. Otherwise, Hare wouldn't even be there, no, in the mantra. It would just be Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, right? So, because Hare is the one who takes us to Krishna. Hare is Radharani, Krishna's internal potency or the spiritual potency of the Lord, right? She is the one who recommends us to Krishna. And then Krishna doesn't even question. If Radharani is showing someone and saying, no, accept this person, he or she is a good devotee, Krishna accepts without any background check, right? So Hare, that's why we pray to Hare. We first approach Radharani. We say Hare first and then we say Krishna, right? We first approach Radharani. We ask her, we beg her to take us to Krishna. And then she is the one who is going to take us to Krishna, right? And if you want Radharani's mercy, whose mercies do we need? What are the levels of mercy? Anybody? Yes.
Devotees of the
Radharani.
Lord. And
No. There are, yeah, devotees of the Lord, definitely, but there are specific levels. Anybody knows? No one knows? Without so-and-so particular people's mercy, we will not get Radharani's mercy. And if you don't get Radharani's mercy, no Krishna. No one knows? We need Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Yeah, Renuka Mataji?
Yani Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Ah.
Shri
And
Advaita
then
Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaurav Bhaktavinda.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Yeah, so we need, first of all, we need Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, and that is the first level. He is the Guru Tattva, right? Without Guru, no Krishna. We need to just forget Krishna, right? Guru is the one who takes us to Krishna, right? So Nityananda is the representation. He's the Guru Tattva. He's the principal Guru. Okay, all the Gurus emanate from Nityananda Prabhu's energy itself. Right after Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, it's Nityananda Prabhu who takes us and introduces us to who? Who knows?
Advaita Gadadhar.
No. Even before Nityananda Prabhu is all these people. The remaining Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivas and all. No one knows?
Chaitanya Prabhu.
Haribol, yes. Nityananda Prabhu is the one who takes us to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to take us to Radharani, and Radharani is going to take us to Krishna. These are the levels. That's the reason. And these, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas are all one. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. It's one. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu splits into the five potencies or to form Panchatattva. Right? It's Krishna himself. That's why we look at all the Panchatattvas on the same level. Right? So we need mercy of all the Panchatattvas, especially Nityananda Prabhu, who is going to introduce us to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduces us to Radharani. Radharani introduces us to Krishna. And then we get Krishna. Can you imagine? That's why without worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we cannot worship Krishna in this world, right? In this Janma. So it's very important. And yeah, so here it says, right, when a person places himself at the disposal or the order of the Supreme Lord, it's called Sevon Mukha, service attitude, right? At that time, the spiritual energy gradually reveals the Lord to him. Can you imagine? It is Radha Rani who is going to reveal Krishna to us. Krishna does not reveal. Krishna does not give anybody Krishna Prem. Krishna cannot give anybody Krishna Prem. It is his devotees who are going to give us Krishna Prem. That is the reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna only, okay? But he's come in the form of a devotee, right? With Radha Rani's complexion and mood, right? In Radha Rani's form he has come, right? That's why he is able to give us Krishna Prem. So Krishna cannot give us Krishna Prem directly. It is his spiritual energy who can give us Krishna Prem. So Radharani is the one who is going to give us Krishna Prem. She is the one who is going to reveal Krishna to us. Right? Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhave grahyam indriya sevon mukhe hi jihvadav atha eva hi spuratiyada. Right? Everything just reveals itself. Swayam eva hi spuratiyada. Swayam itself. Krishna starts revealing to us it by himself only when sevon mukhe hi jihvadav. When we turn internally through, for service, to serve the Lord with a service attitude. When we turn towards Krishna with a service attitude, then everything just reveals, right? That's selfless service. Even if we have some troubles and everything in life, overcoming all that, sidestepping all that, we have to serve the Lord. Like, for example, say you don't have money, you don't have a job, you don't even have money to live yourself. Still you say you are somehow going to the temple and serving the deities over there. That means selfless service. That is called selfless service, right? Fine, you don't have a lot resources for yourself, but still, doesn't matter. I will serve the Lord selflessly. With a selfless attitude, you go and serve him, right? That is called selfless service attitude. That is called bhakti. Bhakti means, see, everywhere bhakti means devotion. It's defined as a feeling. But only Prabhupada says bhakti means bhakti seva, right? Devotion is not just a feeling, it's devotion service. Only Prabhupada defines it as a service, right? Like, for example, if you say, I love my mother, right? You can say, I love my mother, I love my mother, right? So you cannot keep saying you love your mother. You need to do something for her to express it, right? Love is about expression, right? So that expression is service. So you do something, you take care of her, you cook for her, you make a greeting card and give her, right? Like a small kid, right? Whatever a small kid can do within the kid's control power, the kid will start doing, making a greeting card and gifting and all that, right? That is expression. What is that? Service. Expression is nothing but service, right? So to Krishna also, you cannot keep saying, I love God, I love Krishna and sit. It's about expression. It's about service. So fine, if you love Krishna, what are you doing for him? Right? What did you do? Service immediately comes there. Right? So that's why Prabhupada says devotion is not a feeling. It's a verb. You have to do it. It's devotional service. That's why only Prabhupada defines devotion as devotional service. Right? And yeah, here it says, at that time, his hands, ears, legs, tongues, mind, genitals, everything engage in the service of the Lord. Everything engaged. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Right? Yeah, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. When we use our senses, our body, to serve the Lord, to satisfy the Lord's senses, not our senses, but to satisfy Lord's senses, that is called bhakti. Bhakti Ruchyate. That is called bhakti. Okay, word to word meaning. That is called bhakti. But what do? We consider Krishna as, or devotion service as, part-time business, right? Part-time business or hobby. Okay. And it's like in a day, whatever devotional activity you do, that time you will have Krishna in your mind. And other times we will not have Krishna in our mind. right? When we sit to chant, yeah, it's a devotional activity. I will have Krishna in my heart and mind. Okay, when you cook, okay, I'm cooking bhoga for the Lord. Okay, that time also you will have Krishna in your heart, right, and mind. When you're reading the shastras, yeah, you're attending the class, yeah. Other time, when you're doing something else, you'll forget Krishna. All of us do this, not just you or me, including me. Everybody does this, right? So the person who remembers Krishna, even otherwise, even when doing mundane activities, differentiates himself from non-devotees. Such people are called devotees, right? Otherwise, it's it's easy to get distracted otherwise. So here it's given, no, even genitals. Can you imagine? You can even engage genitals in the service of the Lord, right? How? By producing Krishna conscious children, right? Only by producing Krishna conscious children. And that way, everything can be used in service of the Lord. Everything can be used in service of the Lord. Right here it says, in the beginning, senses are engaged by the direction of the supreme spiritual master. And then, as you know, we get purified by doing our sadhana properly, right? We start engaging them from the bottom of our heart. Initially, it is mechanical. After that, we actually do it because we want to do it, right? Like, for example, getting up early in the morning for Mangalarati. Initially, we do because somebody is asking us to do forcefully, right? Oh, I need to get up. Mataji has asked me to get up. Prabhuji has asked me to get up, right? Parents are asking me to get up. So I will get up early in the morning and attend Mangalarati and all that, right? So initially, it's a mechanical activity. Forcefully, we do it. Still, it's you have to do it because that's how we all start, right? Initially, when we chant, we keep seeing the Sakshi Mala. Oh, how many rounds are remaining? Only one over, only two over. That's how we all start, right? But gradually, what happens? Taste for doing the devotional activities increase, right? Nobody needs to wake us up. We only start waking up early. As we start doing the devotional activities, we don't even see Sakshi Mala. 2 hours without even opening our eyes, we sit and chant. We don't. I have seen devotees who do not even count. They say 2 hours. I know I will cross 16 rounds. What is the point in seeing the Sakshi Mala? They say, right? So that way, what happens from the bottom of our heart, we start engaging in devotional service, and we start doing it out of we like what we are doing. It's not a mechanical activity anymore, right? We really start liking it because we get realizations, we get purified, right? We get purified, we get realizations, but initially do not expect that, right? It's why the sadhana. Rupa Goswami divides, right, bhakti into 4 levels. Why the sadhana bhakti? Raganuga sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. So why the sadhana is forcefully doing it. You're not liking it, still you will do it, right? And when you do it and do it and do it, what happens? You gradually get purified, and then you enter Raganuga sadhana bhakti, where it is still sadhana. You still follow the rules and regulations and timetable and all that, but it is because you like to do it, right? That is Raganuga. You spontaneously do it. You spontaneously, without alarm, you get up in the morning, right? All that you do without even seeing the Sakshimala, you cross 16 rounds effortlessly. You want to cross 16 rounds. That is all Raganuga sadhana bhakti. And after that, Bhava bhakti. When you do it consistently for a lot of years, when you keep doing it, then what happens? Bhava. You get ecstatic feelings, right? You get ecstatic feelings when you start doing these sadhana, right? Um, the Ashta Sattvic Vikar, right? And then what happens? Prema. When you get ecstatic, right? When you get overly joyed with the sadhana, what happens? You get Krishna. You get Krishna prem. You get love for Krishna, right? You start loving Krishna. Now we are not loving Krishna. Okay, now we are really not loving Krishna. Then you actually start loving Krishna after you cross Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti and go to Prema Bhakti, right? Yeah, here it talks about the different energies of the Lord. And give me one moment. Yeah, so this second shloka talks about the different energies of the Lord, and then it says, you create the total energy of the material world by your external potency, and after creation, you enter within the material world as the super soul. So does anybody know how this creation happens? Who are all involved? What is this Mahat Tattva, total energy? Who creates the Mahat Tattva? Who creates the planetary systems? Anybody knows? No one knows? Basics? Vishnu. What form of Vishnu? Which form of Vishnu creates which part of the material creation?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Karmodak Sai Vishnu creates innumerable number of universes, and Garbhodak Sai Vishnu enters into each universe and creates living entities, and Kshirodak Sai Vishnu enters into each living entity as Paramatma.
Yeah, so what does Garbhodakshay Vishnu do?
He enters into each planet.
No, he enters into each universe
universe
and creates the lotus stem and the lotus flower. And in the lotus stem comes the 14 planetary systems. Right? So it's Garbhodakshay Vishnu who creates the planetary systems in each universe. And on the lotus flower, it's Brahmaloka. He creates Brahma as well. Right? And then, so Brahma becomes the secondary creator. And then Brahma creates the living entities. And then Kshirodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay expands into Kshirodakshay Vishnu, and he is the Paramatma feature who enters into each of the living entities in the heart and sits there. Right? Not just living entities' hearts, in every atom of every planetary system, it's Kshirodakshay Vishnu is present. Okay, every atom of every living entity and every particle, whether living being, non-living being, everything, every atom, Kshirodakshay Vishnu is present. Right? And what is this Mahat Tattva, total energy? Right? So, Karanadakshay Vishnu, when he has to create the cosmic manifestation, right? The universe, the multiple universes, how is he going to create? He needs raw materials, right? So, raw materials are all material because it's material universe that is being created. Raw materials are all material, right? So, this Mahat Tattva is a cloud-like structure. Okay, it's a cloud-like structure which contains all the materials needed for Karanadakshay Vishnu to create the material universe. Okay, so the three modes of material nature is also a part of Mahatattva. Okay, so basically, Mahatattva is nothing but Durga Devi. That's how we define. She is the material manifestation. Okay, so Krishna impregnates the Mahatattva just by glancing at Mahatattva. He impregnates the Mahat Tattva with living entities. Aham bija pradapita, Krishna says. Right? Aham bija pradapita. So he is the one who impregnates the Mahat Tattva. Just by glancing at her, he impregnates Mahat Tattva or the material energy, external potency, Durga Devi with living entities. Right? That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham bija pradapita. Right? So it's because of Krishna, Aham bija pradapita. He is the one who gives the vital force. Without the vital force, material energy is dead, right? The soul has to be there for the life. The life factor is the soul. Without soul, there is nothing living, right? So who is giving that soul or the life factor or the life? Who is giving life to this material world? Krishna. He impregnates the material world with life, that is soul, right? Or the spiritual energy. And anything else? Yeah, here it is said, no, the same energy as external potency engages the ordinary non-devotees in the material activities for sense enjoyment. Yeah, so there are Krishna inspires devotees. Okay, Krishna's internal potency or Radharani takes charge or takes care of the devotees, and non-devotees are taken under control of external potency. It's the same energy of the Lord which acts two ways. Okay, so for non-devotees, it is Maya Shakti. Okay, Mahamaya, which causes the bondage. Okay, traps. It traps the non-devotees because we want to enjoy, right? That's why we left Goloka and we've come here, right? So to teach us a lesson, Mahamaya takes over us and traps us and teaches us a lesson by bondage, illusion, and all this, right? But if we are devotees, if we are ready to surrender to the Lord, and go back home, back to Godhead, then from Mahamaya's control, we are taken away and put on the lap of the internal potency of the Lord, that is Radharani. So she nurtures us, takes care of us, and makes us ready, and presents us to Krishna. Right? So it is the same energy, that is Krishna's energy, that acts two ways on devotees and non-devotees. Okay, so this is very important, very important. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any doubts? Anybody?
Mataji,
No
I would
doubts?
like to share a few things, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you all. NNT Prabhuji had shared a few information with all the coordinators. I would like to share those information with you all. So first of all, thank you all for supporting in the form of donation by donating to the temple. Temple management had reached 1.25 crores in donation, so which will help uh, completing the donation, completing the temple, right? Temple construction. And second one is that I request everyone to become a member, become a life patron member of ISKCON. So if you all not have applied, you can apply, and you can pay it in either in one shot or through installments. You can complete it in a year's time. So this money will also go towards completing the temple construction in time before Balrama festival day, right? And the third point I would like to share is that now Gita Course, underrating Gita Course, we all have completed that and then come to the stage, right? And this Gita Course is continuously going on. So in order to sustain that, we request each one of you to get a devotee, each devotee, right? So, and we can guide them. And then we have NNT Prabhuji mentioned that this congregation, right, ISKCON Mangalore congregation has 7,000 devotees. And if each of us can bring one devotee, it will become 14,000. So we can guide them completely and handhold them and make them continue all the courses and experience what we have experienced, right? So we learned 18 days Gita and then level 1, level 2, level 3, Bhakti Sadachar and Bhakti Shastri courses and so on. So whatever we experience, we can share the same to everyone. So they can also benefit. And if you want to get more details on life pattern membership, right, please reach out to us and we'll be able to help you all. So you can pay through installments and help the temple. This will go for temple construction. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Please do come forward and yeah, like Prabhuji said, get more people because you're giving Krishna to people.
Yeah,
right?
it is because of our support that temple has got 1.25 crores so far. So
very nice.
So we can do more to the temple. So please come forward. Thank you.
Yeah, so Gita 18 is like it's been a game changer for a lot of people. Okay, a lot of us have become devotees who were even lower than animals. Like lot of us, okay, including myself. I was living like an animal or even lower. Okay, and this one Gita 18 course has changed my life. And if it can change my life, it can change a lot of others' life as well, right? So please do come forward, bring one person, and that is going to change their life as well. And if you are giving Krishna to that person, imagine what you are going to get. You're getting, you will get Krishna Prem. Okay, if you are giving Krishna to others, you will also get Krishna Prem, right? So Krishna's mercy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, right, upon my order, you become a guru. Whether we are qualified or not doesn't matter, right? So, yeah. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, upon my order, you become a guru, and what? Give Krishna Prem to everybody, right? Preach Krishna to everybody. So, upon his order, we are supposed to become gurus and bring bring people towards Krishna, right? So he said, we do not need, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, we do not need any qualifications, right? He said, you just have to preach Krishna consciousness to everybody. However fallen we are, doesn't matter, right? So, please do refer at least one devotee, and that is going to make a lot of difference. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any other questions or anything else, or can we end? That's it? Okay, then we can end. Hare Krishna. Thank
Yeah,
you all for
one
joining.
more
Yeah.
thing, Mataji, I forgot to add this. So last time when I messaged, we had received registrations around 2,500. Now it has increased to 5,000 members registration for under 18 Gita. So it can
Hare
increase
Bol.
more. Yeah, please keep referring and sharing the messages.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Please keep referring. Hare Krishna. So we can end. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So Bhakti Sadachar devotees can leave, and initiation course devotees can join and stay back. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Tadot Pranam.
Hare Krishna.